So grab your headphones, let the journey start. With Suzy's Vegas tales, she's stealing the heart. In the city of dreams, let's laugh and play. Suzy's Las Vegas podcast, come join the sway.
Well, I got to tell you, I am so excited today. I've asked this man to be on my show a couple times, and he finally agreed. Dave McGown. How you doing there, Dave?
I'm doing great. It's so
McGown
happy to be here.
Entertainment, huh?
Yes, McGownentertainment.com. That's the website. That's been my company now for, 35 years probably.
Well, you were, what, 2 years old when you started?
I was, it was pre-birth. And
That's what I
I
thought.
started working in studios 7 or 8 years before I was born. And no, it's been amazing. It's just been an amazing, really fortunate life. I've had a great time.
Oh, my God, that's wonderful. You know, a couple of weeks ago, Nelson had you for the Fiore Club, had you and the whole crew as the entertainment. You blew me away on how good you are. I mean, you're just totally, totally amazing. So I want to hear the story from when you were a kid, your whole life, you know. So come on, Dave.
Well, I started out, my sister was a performer, but before that, my father was a drummer.
Okay.
And played in little, wedding bands and stuff like that. The Johnny Diamore Orchestra is what he had.
All right.
And instrumentation was a little unique. It was drummer and piano and a trombone player and a guitar player.
Wow.
And no bass, And
Where was this at?
this was in Massachusetts. We lived in Wakefield, Massachusetts.
Okay, you and I talked about Massachusetts.
Yeah, that's right. And
Yes.
and you're from there. So
I'm from Pennsylvania, but I have really good friends in Boston.
okay.
Boston, yes.
Boston, yeah,
Yes.
that's right. And we, Dad was playing all the time.
Yeah.
One of the earliest pictures I have, one that I didn't share with you, is
Okay.
a picture of me sitting at my father's drum set when I was 3 years old.
Oh, my God, that would have been so awesome.
Yeah, I just didn't dig that one out. But,
Yeah.
but he certainly had an influence on me. My mother was a singing waitress.
Really?
My mother told the story. So they met in in Old Orchard Beach, Maine.
Okay.
My mother was
Now
from...
we're loving Maine, too. Lobster time.
Absolutely. My mother was from Fort Kent, Maine, way up at the top of Maine.
Up around Bar Harbor?
No, far north of that. Yeah, all the way up.
Almost Canada,
Yeah,
like
it's
Halifax?
the last town north in Maine.
Wow.
When you go to the end of Route 1, that's Fort Kent.
Oh, my God.
And that's
I never
where she
knew
was
that.
born. And my father was from Medford, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And they both ended up working at Old Orchard Beach, Maine for the summer.
Okay.
My mom was a singing waitress in a beer hall. And
Okay.
my dad was a short order cook. He wasn't working in music. So he worked in the morning making breakfast,
Yeah.
and she worked at night slinging beer.
Oh, my God.
So she would go have breakfast with him, and he'd go drink beer with her.
Yeah.
And she told the story all the time. They
Best
had
of all worlds.
Yeah, it was
Love
great.
it.
They had a casino at the end of the pier,
Mm-hmm.
and the big bands used to come in. This is 1938. And the big bands would come in, and one of the big bands that came in was the Royal Canadians, Guy
Really?
Lombardo. Oh. So these guys would play a set, and then they didn't serve any alcohol on the pier. So they would run down the pier, and they'd stop at the first place that served beer, which was the beer hall that my mother worked in.
Okay.
And they would run in there and have beer.
Yeah.
So Mom was serving beer, and she served Guy Lombardo and one of his players.
Oh, my God.
And she talked about Guy Lombardo leaving her a 25-cent tip. Now, just to make it clear,
Right.
beers at the time were a nickel.
Wow.
So he left a 500% tip
Yeah.
for her.
Wow.
That 25-cent tip, and she always remembered
Well,
it.
yeah,
That was one of the things.
absolutely.
But they both did that stuff. My
Yeah.
dad wanted to be a singer and a songwriter and all of that stuff, and he was hampered by a couple of things. He had an unbelievable Boston accent.
Did he?
I mean, unbelievable.
The real Boston.
The real Boston accent. And so that was part of it. But he, it was the 40s, and he had no opportunity to really get that stuff played and recorded. Studio
Sure.
time was
Yeah.
massively expensive, and he didn't have any money. He was making $14 a week, you know.
Sure.
So he went into a little record store that had a booth,
Okay.
and he recorded 2 songs. One of them, it took 3 recordings to get because you only had 90 seconds.
90
90
seconds.
seconds. It was a little acetate disc that they recorded it on.
Okay.
78 RPM, 90 seconds.
90 seconds. Put it all in.
Put it all on 90 seconds. So
my
he
God.
ran through that song the 3rd time to get it all on there.
Yeah.
It was called "Darn It, I'm Stuck Again," and that was one of his songs. And the other one was "Wednesday Is a Long, Long Day." And he
Okay.
put those songs together around 1948.
Wow.
So in the album that I just finished with Stevie
Mm-hmm.
Dunham, I said, "Stevie, do you mind if I do a couple of my dad's songs?" And he said, "No." So I wrote some instrumentation for it. I put big band charts together for him, and
Wow.
and got them set up and mastered. And we did those songs on the album. And what we're doing on the album is
This
I
is
have
your new album?
my new album. Yeah.
Okay,
so
that's
I have a new
Pieces
album.
of Me.
Pieces of Me is my new album.
See, Rick's ahead
That's
of
going to
us.
be
I'm
out.
loving it.
He's way ahead. That album is coming out at the end of August or the beginning of September. It's going to be out in time for Christmas.
Wonderful.
We'll make a great Christmas present.
Oh, yeah.
It
I'm going
has
to get one.
It has 8 original songs on it. 6 of them that I wrote. Those 2 that my dad wrote. The really cool thing about it is
Yeah.
that those acetate recordings,
Mm-hmm.
I have those.
You do.
I do. And so those, Stevie has managed to remaster those, take all the scratches and pops and skips and all of that out of those songs. And he's been able to put those songs on the album. So
Wow.
before
What a gift. What a
before you
blessing.
hear my big band arrangement of
Yeah.
those, you're going to hear my dad sing those songs.
Oh, my God. He's here with you.
Always.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Always.
Well, you know, Rick has a lot of pictures. You want to start with when he was young with the band, please, Rick?
Sure.
There.
So that was the band. This is a band called Taurus. That's around 1972 or 73. We were in Danvers, Massachusetts. We played clubs all over Massachusetts. We worked as much as 6 nights a week. I was 3 in that. No, I wasn't. I was 17 in that picture.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm the large guy in the middle. I've never been
Well,
small.
you're still good looking, okay?
Thank you.
Yes.
And yeah, there we are again in
It's
one of the band
beautiful.
pictures, and I just colorized those to make sure that they looked really nice and sharp and clear.
Yeah.
But
they're
yeah,
wonderful.
those are the pictures that we used as promo shots when we played nightclubs, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh, my God.
Such good times. You played all over Massachusetts, Boston, you know, all the different
Do you ever go back?
bars. Last time I was back was for my 50th class reunion in 2023.
Okay.
And it was in June of 23.
Okay.
And our class reunion was on June 11th, 2023, exactly 50 years since we graduated. We graduated on June 11th in 1973.
That's so amazing, isn't it? It's such a funny feeling. You know, I know I'm in that age bracket too. I understand that.
Yeah.
But it's so amazing, isn't it, when you
Yeah.
think about it?
So we're both incredibly young, and it's
Yes,
amazing
we
that we
are.
have
We keep
all of
getting
this
younger.
experience
Yes.
in this short period of time.
Yes, pre-birth, as you say.
Exactly.
That's my new word. I love that.
That's it. Well, you know, at the time that I was in that band, I was also doing commercials and jingles and that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
I was in a group called the Greater Bostonians.
Okay.
And I was in that group in 1971, 72, and 73. And it was 40 pieces in a chorus and a 40-piece orchestra.
40
And we
piece.
did 3 one-hour television specials, one a year. We did concerts all over New England. We played Symphony Hall 3 times
Oh, wow.
in Boston. Amazing. And so I was standing here at a club. I went over to see Ryan Baker.
Okay. He's amazing, isn't he?
He's a great guy.
I love
and
Ryan.
wonderful voice
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah.
And so I went to Max and Jazz to see him.
Uh-huh.
And his piano player was incredible. And I said, I got to go talk to this guy. And I went over and I talked to him and I said, hi, I'm Dave McGown. He said, oh, I'm Joey Singer. I said, okay.
Oh, he's fabulous.
And
Joey,
I said,
come on.
okay. And so we were talking and he said, where are you from? And I said, I'm from Wakefield, Massachusetts. And he said, oh, I'm from Mattapan. And I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, do you know Dana Muse? And I said, sure. He's a drummer in the jazz band. I was the lead trumpet player in the jazz band in high school.
Small world.
And he said, yeah, we played together in this little group. I have a picture of it. This is what he said to me. He said, I have a picture of it. The Record American had a magazine that they did once a week. And we had the front cover of the Record American for the Greater Bostonians in 1971. He said, I have that picture hanging in my living room.
Oh, my goodness.
And I said, so you were in that group? And he said, yeah, 1971 and 72. And then I graduated from high school. And I said, okay. He said, are you familiar with that group at all? And I said, do you remember in 1971 there was an octet that sang We've Only Just Begun? And he said, yeah, I played the piano for that. And I said, yeah, I was the baritone. And and I said, and I have that same picture hanging on the wall in my living room.
Oh, my God.
And, and then he shared that story when he went to the Dennis Bono show, and I saw the drummer from Dennis Bono on Kelly Clinton's show that night, and we were talking about it.
Oh, my
and
God.
it was just, it's funny
small
when you run
world,
into
isn't
that
it?
stuff. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And so I was doing jingles and commercials and working in studios.
Yeah.
And the way that happened is from the Greater Bostonians. We had a guy named Dave Stewart that was the arranger for the Greater Bostonians. And I noticed one day that he was standing right behind me. They had just sanded out a new piece of music, and he was standing right behind me. And he was watching me like a hawk. And I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong? What's going on? And I got a call from him the next night. And he said, I need you in a studio tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. And I said, okay. He said, yeah, we're going to do a commercial. Pays $39.50 an hour union scale, and it's for Friendly Ice Cream. And I said, all right.
Yeah.
And so I said to my dad, hey, Dad, I got to go to, I was 15. I said, Dad, I got to go to this studio in Revere. And he said, tomorrow's a school day. And I said, Dad, it pays $39.50 an hour union scale. And Dad said, okay, what time do you have to be there? And that was the end of the discussion on that. Well, I ended up working in that studio and with those people for roughly 5 years. I did commercials for everybody in Boston.
That just had to be amazing.
And I talked to Dave Stewart after that. I said, why were you standing behind me? And he said, because I wanted to see if you really could sight read everything, and you can. So, because they could hand me a piece of music and I could sing it.
Seriously?
Yeah, and I still can. And so, yeah, it's I can't explain it. It's the way
fabulous.
it is. So, so he was scouting me up.
Yeah.
So a few years later, I decided to go to Berklee School of Music in Boston.
Okay.
And everybody that goes to Berklee School of Music, the way this works is you go in and you audition, and you send in an application. And you have to ace the audition. You have to have all kinds of credits on your application and all of that stuff in order to get in, because it's a very exclusive school.
Yes. Okay.
And I walked in 2 days after classes started and said, yeah, I've decided to go here. And they said, what makes you think that you can walk in here and just tell us you want to go to school?
Did you say, I'm Dave McGown?
And I said, well, I can write you a check for the tuition. And they said, okay, well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
And just then, Tony Texera walked into the office. And I said, hi, Tony. And he said, oh, hi, Dave. How you doing? And the girl behind the desk said, you know him? And he said, well, yeah, we were in the studio yesterday.
Yeah.
And she said, should he go here? And he said, well, yeah, of course. Does he have to audition? He said, no. And they said, okay. And they gave me a class schedule, and that was it.
Oh, my God.
That's how I got into Berklee.
Wow.
So, it's just one of those
You've
things.
had an angel on your shoulder, haven't you?
Absolutely.
Oh, my
But,
God. Well, you have quite an interesting past. Tell me a little bit about the Elvis part of your life.
I was doing
I
was doing a single at the time, and I was working with recorded tracks, as we do, but I was kind of a pioneer with that. My tracks were all on cassettes.
Oh, wow.
Because they weren't CDs yet. So I had a dual cassette player with, reverse and all that stuff, and I had all my tracks on cassettes.
Yeah.
And I was doing a show for a charity, and I did an Elvis song, and the people in the room all, lit their lighters and all of that stuff.
Sure.
And I had people come over and say, you shouldn't do anything else. You should just do Elvis. And I said, I never thought about it, and And they said, yeah, you need to. And about a month and a half later, there was a contest, an Elvis tribute artist contest in Manchester, New Hampshire, where I was.
Okay.
And I wore a black shirt, and, you know, that's it. And I went in, and I won. And people started hiring me to do private parties as Elvis. So I bought a jumpsuit and started
Well,
doing
we have
Elvis.
pictures of that,
Yeah,
too, don't
so
we?
there we go.
He is.
There I am.
Yeah.
This is in Manchester, New Hampshire, and this is at a charity show I did with the Elvis Presley fan club in Manchester, New Hampshire. I was the entertainment director for that club, and
Wow.
and we raised right around $1 million with that club.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
To do a lot of things. We donated to Shriners Hospital. We donated to the Elvis Presley Trauma Center. And we donated to, there was one kid that had a bone disease, and he grew. And I mean, he grew. He was about 7'6" when we met him.
7'6".
And he was 14.
Oh, my God.
And he couldn't walk. His muscles didn't keep up with the growth of his bones.
Yeah.
And in order for him to get around, he had to lay on his back in the family van because they couldn't get him up into the van because he was too tall. So in that concert that you see the picture
Wow.
of, we raised enough money to buy them a van with a raised top
Oh,
and
my God,
power
that's
lift gate and
wonderful.
all of that stuff, and got him taken care of.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah.
That's fabulous.
So amazing, and that's another shot from
Yeah.
another show.
Uh-huh.
I traveled up and down the East Coast doing Elvis. I performed in Memphis. I did some shows in Florida. I did some shows in Connecticut, Rhode Island, all the way up into Canada. And yeah, it was a good time. And that was the 80s, 90s. I did my last show as Elvis around 2003, right after I got to San Diego.
Okay.
And then I did one more Elvis appearance. I didn't wear the suit. I didn't do any of that stuff. But they had a little show at the Hilton here.
Okay.
And now they do it every year, and it's a big deal. But for that show, it wasn't. And but I went in and did that show, and I got to stand where Elvis used to stand backstage, and that was great.
Wow.
And I met Joe Esposito over there.
You did?
I did.
What was he like?
Oh, Joe was
Well,
great.
I know Rick has that picture
Yeah, he's
of
got
Joe.
a picture of Joe, and he's got a picture of Darlene Tompkins.
Okay.
Darlene, I met here. Yeah, there's
There.
my wife
Yeah.
on to my right, and Darlene is to my left. Darlene was in Blue Hawaii with Elvis.
Oh, wow.
And she lived here.
Yeah.
And we met her at the Elvis-orama Museum. And we became friends, and we went to her house. We did all kinds of things. We had a great time with her.
Oh, wow. That's
And
wonderful.
there I am with her again.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
yeah, she was a great lady. And there I am with Joe Esposito.
There's Joe Esposito.
And I got off stage at the Hilton, and I was walking back to my seat, and Joe stopped me. And he said, I just want to tell you did such a great job. I loved everything you said about Elvis. You're so generous. And he was just a really nice guy, and he introduced me to the comedian that opened for Elvis. And it was wonderful.
Well, it
And
had to
that
be
was all
just
at the
so
Hilton. It was
amazing.
amazing for
Honest
me.
to God, Dave.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So great times. And I had a good time doing that. But I stopped doing it because the girl that dyed my hair to make it dark enough to do Elvis, she got to me and she said, how low is your suit cut? And I said, it's cut down to about here. And she said, yeah, we're going to have to start doing your chest. And I said, yeah, okay, it's time to retire. So,
no.
yeah, you know. And my wife at the time said, well, you could grow a beard. You could start doing Burl Ives. And so, yeah, we joked about that. But
Oh my God, you're just a hoot. You really are. You're hilarious. Well, you know, Nelson talked about how much fun you are too. Hi, Nelson. We have
Hi,
to say
Nelson.
hi to Nelson. Yes,
Yeah, great.
because he critiques the shows. So,
Oh, does he?
Nelson, we're going to need you back on again pretty soon.
Absolutely.
Yes, isn't he
Yes.
amazing?
oh, he's great. He's a great
Yeah.
guy.
He's
And
getting younger every day.
every day. And
Yeah.
and you know, he's been really nice to me since I
Yeah.
started coming here.
Yeah, he's
And one day he
fabulous.
said, well, you sing. Can you do the national anthem for us? And I do the national anthem at Fiore probably 7 out of 12 months.
Yeah.
I do it a lot.
Yeah, you're amazing.
And I'm very, he's treated me really
Yeah,
well.
there's not a dry eye in the house, I can tell you that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love it. And,
Yeah.
I've been so lucky since I've been here. I've been here almost 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And in that 3 years, I've had a chance to perform in a number of places. I've got some upcoming shows. I've
Tell us
become
about
involved.
it.
So I'm doing a show with Richard Friedland.
Are you?
And I just recorded a country song with Richard.
Okay.
I'm one of 6 or 8 artists mixed between men and women doing his country song at Country Comfort.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm doing the second verse, and I'm the bass for all of the chorus. Mm-hmm. And, so that was kind of cool going into that studio and doing that with him. And he's got me doing his tribute show in November this year. So
Where's
that's going to
that
be a
gonna
lot of fun. Great question.
Don't know yet.
I don't know. I
Well,
don't
we
know
have
off
to
the
keep
top
an
of
eye
my
out
head.
for that.
Yeah, it's on Richard's site, and he did share it, and tickets
Yeah.
are going on sale on, I believe it's August 1st.
Okay.
So you can go to Richard Friedland's website and the Fame
sounds awesome.
Game.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I was just on the Fame Game, and I can't tell you how I did because he hasn't aired the episode yet.
Oh, okay.
But the prize was $222 in $2 bills. So if you'd like some $2 bills.
Oh, my. You have a lot of those now.
I do. And
We know who to hit up first
great.
for the
that's
$2
it.
bills. Huh?
He's such a hoot and
Yeah.
just a great guy.
Yeah, we have a wonderful community, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the most impressive thing about the musical community here is that everybody likes everybody,
Yeah.
and we all get along, and we
Yeah.
all share.
Yeah.
And when I was putting a band together for this show for Nelson,
Yeah.
I went to the best musicians in town.
And
I
you
mean,
had 'em.
literally,
Yeah.
I went to the best musicians in town. I said, okay, who do I want as a guitar player? I know it's either Denny Mishler or it's, John Wiedemeyer
Yeah.
or, there are 4 or 5
yeah.
guys, Matt Mitchell,
Yeah.
Those guys. And I went to Denny and I said, Denny, I'm putting a band together. Are you interested? And he said, sure, I'll play with you.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I got Denny. And then I went to Matt Mitchell and I said, Matt, you got time to squeeze something in? Because I want 2 screaming lead guitar players.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, sure, why not? And I went to Danny DeMorales to play bass.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny said yes. And then he called me and he was heartbroken. And he said, I have to go on tour with Dionne Warwick.
Oh, my.
And I said, okay, all right, I'll find another bass player. You got any suggestions? He said, hit up Bram Shure. He's really good. And I said, yes, he is. And he said, yeah, he'll play with you. And I did. And Bram said, sure, why not?
Yep.
And I mean, I just got these amazing musicians, Genevieve Dew.
Oh,
and,
God, she's
and,
amazing.
Lynn Bryan.
Yeah.
Just singing essentially backup for me, which was incredible.
Yeah.
And these guys agreed to do a couple of my original songs, and
It was fabulous. I got to tell you, honest to
Thank
God,
you.
when I saw you in action, I couldn't believe it. It was just fabulous. If he's out there, you got to go see him.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
And so the name of the band is the Double Ds.
Okay.
2 big handfuls
Double
of rock
D.
and roll. Yeah, that's it.
I've been waiting for this interview with you. So
yeah. Well, that's it. And my girlfriend says, well, you need to have another T-shirt. You need to have another T-shirt for the girls that don't quite measure up.
Yeah.
Can have Double D's wannabes. And, that was her idea. And,
you're a hoot. You know that you really are.
well, you got to have fun.
Well, yeah, if you
Come
don't
on.
have fun. Yeah, but most people think Vegas is not as fun as it is. But once you get here, I mean, this is your home. I mean, and people love you. You get along, and as they said, you said we all get along, which we do. We try to help each other, and which brings me to one other thing. Tell me about what you did. You're a contractor, right?
I am. I'm
Tell
a
our audience
retired
what you did.
contractor. So
Yeah.
I've done a lot of different things in
Yeah.
my life. I've always been involved in sales since I was a teenager. I've
Yeah.
always done that. And I walked into a Home Depot with a plan for my kitchen. And I said, here, I want to buy this. And they said, oh, we have to send somebody out to your house to measure it. And I said, yeah, that would be hard. And they said, why? I said, I haven't built the walls yet. So there's nothing to measure. And they said,
I
well,
wish I could have
seriously.
been a
And I
mouse.
said, well, what you do, you can just send a guy out into the parking lot. He can measure the air out there. He doesn't really have to measure at my house. And one thing led to another, and the woman in the department said, let me get my manager. And the manager came over, and he said, what do you have? And I handed him the plans, and they were all drawn in CAD on my computer at home.
Yeah.
And he said, where did you get all the specifications? And I said, I took home a catalog, and I looked it up and
Yeah.
got it done. And he said, if I sent you to school to learn how to design kitchens, would you work for me? He said, what do you do now? And I said, well, I play music in bars at night. And he said, what about during the day? And I said, I play a lot of golf. And I do some construction work at my house. And he said, okay, well, I want you to work for me. So they sent me to school, taught me how to design kitchens. I was in school for almost a year.
Wow.
I came back. I rewarded them by being the #1 designer in the southwestern district of the United States for Home
Oh
Depot.
my God, this
I
is
was
fabulous.
I was in the top 30 in Thomasville cabinets. I'm on the training video for Thomasville cabinets. I was called by stores up and down the West Coast for
Sure.
advice on how to design and how to sell.
Yeah.
And I actually had a vice president from Home Depot come out and talk to me about how I designed the sales program for San Diego, which worked really well.
Wow.
And then they designed a whole design studio around what I told them.
This was Home Depot did this.
This was Home Depot, yeah.
Wow. Well,
And-
Rick's wife, Jenny, works for Home Depot. They're a wonderful company, aren't they?
Oh, they're a great company.
Yeah.
Great company to work
Yeah.
for. So,
Yeah.
yeah, they treated me really well. And, you know, I did really well with them. I had a good time. And they did everything that they were supposed to do
Yeah.
by me. So
Wow.
I have no complaints there.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Well, you just finished your project, didn't you?
I did, I've done a few things. So I did this really cool project.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my close friends in San Diego is a guy named Jim Soldi.
Yeah.
And Jim is a wonderful guitar player, and he's wonderful enough so that Marty Stewart called him one day
Wow.
and said, "Hey Jim, I'm going to be leaving the guy that I'm playing for right now. I'm going to go play with Ricky Skaggs. So can you play, take over for me with Johnny Cash?" And Jim said, well, yeah, sure, why not? And so Jim played with Johnny Cash for a number of years. And then Marty called him again and said, yeah, well, Johnny's kind of retired, and I'm leaving Ricky Skaggs to go play on my own band with the Fabulous Superlatives. So can you take over for me with Ricky Skaggs? And so Jim took over for him with Ricky Skaggs. Jim and his wife called me and said, we need a new kitchen. Can you design our kitchen? So I went to Ramona, California, and did their kitchen for them. And I talked to them a couple of weeks ago. They're still really happy, and they're really nice people. So they're just
Wow.
great folks. But yeah. I
Well, you
get to do that.
definitely are an all-around guy, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
I am. I do a little of everything.
Yeah, you're wonderful. You know, I want you back on a show again because we only touched the surface of your life, but this was just totally amazing.
I didn't even get a chance to talk about Positively Arts, which
Well,
I wanted
let's
to
talk
talk about.
about
We got a minute to talk about Positively
I'm
Arts.
going to
So
go
here
longer.
we go.
Let's talk about
Here we go. So
Positively.
Positively Arts is a
Yeah.
501(c) charity that takes care of kids and teaches them. It teaches them how to sing, how to dance, how to perform, how to write, how to do podcasts, how to do all of the equipment, do sound, do video,
Wow.
do all of
Positively
that. They have
Arts.
all those studios back there, and I went out and met them. It's really kind of funny. I went out with David Scola and his wife.
Yeah.
Because David Scola and his wife have something that I don't have, money, and they they went out and they said, yeah, well, we donate to this kind of stuff. And David called me and he said, we're going out to Positively Arts. Do you want to come? I said, Kelly Clinton and they came over and talked to us. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll go.
Yeah.
So I went out and I drove them in my car, as I often do, because I've ridden with them.
And you would
so
rather
I
drive.
drive them in my car.
Okay.
And,
hi, David.
And so we got out to Positively Arts and walked in, and Polita Simpson said, oh, it's so great to have, David and meet you. It's wonderful to have you here and all that stuff. Who is this? And I said, I'm Dave. I'm just their personal chauffeur. and then we started walking around the building, and I would look at things in the building, and I'd say, okay, you need to fix that because that's not legal, and you need to do. And she said, what do you do? And I said, well, I'm a retired general contractor. And she said, can you help?
Yeah.
And I said, sure, I'll help you with this. So we have this door that doesn't move, and we have, this wall in this classroom. And so about a week and a half later, I went back to start working on some of the things she talked about.
Yeah.
And they said, oh my God, you're here. And I said, what do you mean? And they said, well, we have people all the time that say that they're going to help and they're going to do something.
They never show up
again. That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
And I said, well, it's not me. If I tell you I'm going to do something, I do it.
That's the way I am.
That's what I have to do. I give my word, I do it.
Right.
So like tomorrow, I'm going to put in no parking signs over there for them because I bought them the signs. I'm buying them the posts. I donate everything.
Yeah.
And anyhow, so
where is
Positively Arts is on Sunset, and it's just to the east of the railroad crossing.
Okay.
In that industrial park right there.
All right.
Okay. They've got a 2-story studio that used to be occupied by Cirque du Soleil.
Okay.
And one of the places that they wanted me to take care of, they had this classroom that had all this soundproofing in it. Mm-hmm. Great. It was a great studio. It was really nice.
Yeah.
But it was all soundproof, and part of the soundproofing was in front of the window.
Oh, my God.
So they had no natural light in this place at all. So they said, we really want to take these out, and we want to have the windows, we want to do all this stuff. And I said, okay. So I went back and I tore all the walls out. I took everything apart. I took that all out. And then I refinished the walls and I painted the whole room. And we got new flooring. The flooring itself was donated. They don't know how to ask for donations. So seriously, folks, if you watch this, Positively Arts needs help. They always need help.
Okay.
We're going to be doing a concert for Positively Arts. Watch my website, McGownentertainment.com. You will see a concert set up probably for September. That's going to be a benefit concert. We're going to do it at the Hard Rock on the Strip.
Really?
Third floor in that big showroom up there.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's where we're going to do it.
Wow.
And I can already tell you, and this is a big deal, the band for the show is mine.
Really?
Yeah, the Double Ds are going to do that.
Oh my God.
Going to do
Well,
that
I wanna
concert.
go.
We're going to be the backup band for that, and I will perform there. But I have some friends that are going to perform there.
Yeah.
So, assuming that they're in town, Clint Holmes will be there. Kelly Clinton will be there.
Wonderful. They're great.
We have these guys called the Righteous Brothers.
Oh,
they're, They're around.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They
We
kind of
love
hang
them,
out. They're
too.
neighbors.
Yeah.
And they really are. I mean,
they're fabulous.
And they're great.
Yeah.
And they're the most wonderful guys.
Yeah.
And then my producer has a friend. And assuming that friend is in town, we're going to get him to perform. That's Tony Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
And
you
and
got
I've
a hell of
talked
a
to
lineup there.
I've talked to Kevin Susher and I've talked to a few other people.
Yeah.
And we have a group of people that are going to come in and do some things.
That's
Sonia De
wonderful.
La Guardia and Stevie Dunham will do something. And we're going to have an amazing show up there. And it's all to raise money. Last year they did this show. They raised $40,000 for the charity.
Yeah.
So this year, I'm going to do what I did in New Hampshire.
Okay.
So we're going to add a silent auction.
That's a good idea.
I'm going to go and grab donations from some of the friends that I've made here in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not shy, so I talk to people all the time.
Well, that's a good thing.
And so I know the folks over at Circa.
Uh-huh.
And I know the Aherns.
Yes.
and I know a few other people in town, and
Yeah.
I'm going to go to them and ask for donations that we can put into a silent auction.
Oh, that would be great.
And we're going to make, and I told them that my goal for this year, and you need to help,
Mm-hmm.
everybody needs to help. My goal is $100,000 for them.
Well, let's do it.
I think it should be happening.
I think it should too.
So that's what we're going to do. And that's Positively Arts. And by the way, they took that classroom that I tore apart, all the
Yeah.
walls, and did all that stuff,
Yeah.
and opened it up and finished it all. And now when you walk in, it's the Dave McGown studio.
Oh my God! Congratulations! I am so proud of you. Honest to God,
It's pretty
Dave.
amazing.
Oh yeah. This now we had to hear this. Now you got to come back and tell me the rest of the story. You know, after this
Absolutely.
is done, I want to know more what you're doing.
All right. Well,
You're-
we
you-
have
you
a
have to-
lot coming.
You have to agree, he is a very interesting man. Like,
Thank you.
subscribe, and share. Leave us your thoughts, please. I want Dave back on his show again.
I would love to come back.
Yeah. I had such a
thank
good
you.
time with you, and it went
Me
so
too.
fast.
It did.
Yeah.
It's like lightning.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yes, amazing. So that's our show for today. Take
Thank
care.
you.
So grab your headphones, let the journey start with Suzy's Vegas tales. She's stealing the heart in the city of dreams. Let's laugh and play Suzy's Las Vegas podcast. Come join the sway.